Hi, everybody. Today we are going to be learning about print text features. It's a new topic for us, but it's really important as we are continuing with this new unit. So if you haven't done so already, please go to Google Classroom and open the new activity. It's called This Will Not Be Graded Print Text Features. Once you open up slide one, it'll look just like the slide that I have on the screen. So pause the video now until everybody has slide one open. Okay, so starting from the top here, print text features signal when a word, a phrase, or an idea is important. Print features are intended to focus your attention on specific aspects of text and help you determine the importance of the information. So we have a list here of several different print text features that we're going to be working with today. And I went ahead and I just chunked them into three different color-coded categories. So the first category is heading and subheading. These are really easy. A heading is basically a title of the text, and it's just going to help us identify the topic, like what the text is mostly about. Secondly, a subheading is a heading that's given to a particular section of the text. And it's going to help us identify the main idea of that particular section. It might be one paragraph or it could be more. Please go to slide two. Here we have a text that we're going to practice identifying the heading and at least one subheading for. Now, because this is our first slide that we are doing together here today, I want to show you how I would like you to mark this up. You are welcome to use Cami if you're comfortable with that. Otherwise, I would like you, I'm going to enlarge this a little bit. I would like you to use this feature right here. It looks like a line, but if you click on the select arrow, it will turn into a scribble feature. And now we can circle this is the heading. So we can create a text box next to it and label it heading, just like that. Again, if you'd prefer to use Cami, that's fine. Whatever will be fastest. We are moving pretty fast today. You know me, I love color coordinating things. So I'm going to make the heading text, I don't know, I'll make it blue. And my circle where I have circled the heading, I will also change to blue. If you're starting to fall behind me right now, then don't worry about color coding. That's really not that important right now. But remember, in addition to finding the heading, we also need to find a subheading. And there are several of them here. So here's one subheading, mummies, and here's the text that will tell us all about mummies. Here's another subhead. Let me go ahead and circle that one. There we go. Here is another subheading, right? The Sphinx and everything below it until I hit the next subheading. This will give us all the information that we need to know about the Sphinx. So I can continue to circle all of these subheadings, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to circle these two. So let's see. I will make these a kind of like a sea green color and create a text box here and subheading. There we go. Change the color. All right, again, that is optional. So this is what your slide two should look like at this time. If you are falling a little bit behind, I can ask somebody in the room to pause the screen for only maybe about 30 seconds or a minute because this is the first time that we're doing this type of activity, but otherwise we are getting ready to move today. So the next step is going to be to check out slide three. We have several other print text features here in our blue section. So let's take a look at them. If a word has been bolded, or maybe it's even given a different color, that is going to help it stand out. And it's either standing out because the word is really important to the text, or maybe picture a textbook. Picture that social studies textbook or science textbook when you have a word that is bold. or it's a different color. Sometimes that doesn't just mean that it's an important word. Sometimes it means that you could go to the back of the book or the back of the text and look up the word in a glossary if there's one available. Another way that you can make an important word stand out is if you italicize the word. And that's just when you slant the letters over to the right. It's the same idea. It just draws attention to the word or words that have been italicized because they are important in some way. Here's another one. Underlining. If there is a line under a word in the text, of course it's going to draw your eye to it. There's something important about that word. Lastly, a font. If you come across a word that is maybe in a larger font or a different font, maybe the size is increased, it's going to draw your attention to the text as well. All right, so go to the next slide. I believe that we're up to slide number 4. And you're going to do this one on your own, okay? As it says at the top here, bold print, font, and italics and underlining are print features used to signal the reader when a word, phrase, or idea is important. They are intended to focus your attention on specific aspects of text and help you determine the importance of the information. So you are going to have a few minutes here to look over passage 1 and look over passage 2, and you are going to identify where you see words that have been bolded or italicized or underlined. Don't worry about the font right now because the font is really all the same, although you could make the argument that the two headings, the two titles, are a little bit larger in size. But focus on the other print text features that I just mentioned. Circle and label them. So if somebody could please just pause the video and set a timer, or at least just keep an eye on the clock. Let's say we'll come back in maybe about, I don't know, how long will it take you to do this? Maybe 2-3 minutes? Go ahead. All right, so let's reveal the answers. Okay, so for bold words, here's one bold word, zoology. There's another word here that's darker in color, and this one's also bold, organisms. As long as you circled at least one of these and labeled them bold, you are off to a great start. Another word, actually 2 words down in passage 2 that have been underlined. You could have circled the word sonnet or the word immigrants. These words both use the underlining print text feature. And lastly, at the very end of passage 2, we have 5 lines of text that have all been italicized. So I hope that you circled the italicized words and labeled them. All right, so moving on to slide number 5, let's take a peek at the last categories. We have bullets. I love using bullets. It's usually a dot, although it could be another symbol that provides a list. If you have a list of items, a list of songs, a list of anything, they might be represented with bullets in a text. An asterisk is something completely different. This is when you have some text that has a little star symbol at the end of it. What that means is that you're supposed to look further down the page for another matching asterisk. And that's going to give you additional information about wherever that first asterisk was on the page. You'll see what I mean when we look at our example. Lastly, captions. Captions are words or phrases, sentences that are usually right underneath a photograph or an illustration. Sometimes if they're not directly underneath the photograph or illustration, maybe they're on top of it, or maybe they're just off to the side. It's usually smaller text and it goes with the picture or illustration and explains why or how it is connected to the text. All right, let's go through that same process now. You're going to go to the following slide and you're going to identify, circle, and label where is the asterisk, where are the bullets, and where are the captions. So again, if we could have somebody keep an eye on the clock, pause the video, we will need maybe about 2 or 3 minutes to do this. All right, and you're back. Let's take a look at the answers. Okay. So here's the one and only asterisk. You could see it came at the end of this sentence right here. Did you find it? That teensy tiny little star? And again, I hope that you circled it, but that you also found the matching asterisk all the way down here at the bottom. Remember, it's going to be at the bottom of the page. And this gives us additional information about this part of the text. In the middle of the page, we have how many bullets? You could have circled one of them or all of them. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is a very interesting part of the text because the subheading says wildlife facts. So this would appear to give us 6 facts. Instead of creating a list, it used the bullets to have the 6 facts stand out to us a little bit more. Now, I circled one caption down at the bottom of the page, but perhaps you found another one up here. As long as you have at least one caption circled and labeled, that's fantastic. All right. So it would be either right here or right here. It is explaining what these images have to do with the text. All right. So now that we have finished this portion of our classwork, we are going to take the remaining time today to do a little bit of independent reading. While you are reading, though, however, I'm going to ask that the teacher who is with you please pass out one Post-it note per student. Students, you are going to need your independent reading book and a pen or pencil because your job is to jot down where you see a print text feature while you are doing your independent reading. So you are going to be on the lookout for things like headings, subheadings, bolded words, italicized words, bullets, etc. Some texts are going to have a lot of these print text features. So you're going to be very busy jotting on your Post-it note throughout the period. Some of you might not have very many of these at all, maybe just 1 or 2. So as you're reading, do some jotting and then keep this Post-it note in your independent reading book. And that's a wrap on class today. You are welcome to use your notes as you are jotting. So feel free to keep that screen, the one with the chart open, this one right here. Feel free to keep that open while you are doing your reading and jotting today. And I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye.